Hello, hello. How you doing? We're just sitting here with the Oscars. You want to chill for a bit? We did our major deep clean on the discus tank today. It's gonna look beautiful tomorrow. I uploaded a musical video of them earlier, but that was like right after the water change, so it was slightly murked. There was a little bit of particles floating around, and then I'd fed them too. But tomorrow morning, it's gonna be absolutely perfect. We'll take a look see here. I don't have my tablet today. I don't want family plan. Sound check, sound check. Water's still great down here, although I got some lasting bubbles because they're real small. Not bad. Sound check, sound check. Okay, sound's working. Sound is working. Thank you for the pluses. Much appreciated. Hello, spinster sister. How are you this evening? There you go. It's always good to get them clean. It's always good to get them clean. Oh, look, yeah. I'm looking at your channel right now and checking out your tanks. Also, just subscribed. Mystery snail laying some eggs. Let's see there. Holy Jesus, that's a lot of eggs. Wow. That's a clutch and a half, eh? Sure, plus that. Oh, you got some coral? Oh, calicos, okay. Platies. Cool. Oh, you know what I did? I went and left my vapes upstairs, so I'm gonna go get that because I like to puff. I'm pulling that right now. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, Oscars are doing good. Gonna throw them a little food. Watch them eat a bit. Just a little meal. Eat a little bit more than that. We feed Northfin here, but I have started dumping it in containers because it's easier to manage in the bags. I keep my containers, so I just rip the lids off and or the labels off and been dumping my Northfin in. I just like the plastic containers better than the bags. But yeah, food particles floating around now. Well, that's okay. You're gonna start sifting soil too. A few more days, probably water changes this whole system again. Well, that's good for now. Oh, runs really good. Couldn't be happier. What's going on in the news today? So look at the news. What do we got here? Well, Trump doesn't need Canadian oil and gas, so and tariffs are apparently coming on the February 1st. My life gets 25% more expensive on February 1st, and it's already insanely expensive. They're trying to call Elon a Nazi now. Just absolutely predictable and pathetic. Wow. Wow, we're going to have an Ontario election. I don't like Doug Ford. I hope he's not running again, but he probably is because we don't have term limits. Security may not be safe. CBC.ca has an invalid security certificate. That's hilarious. February 27th. See, that's how fast it should be to call an election. We should have a federal election right now, but they furloughed it until Parliament till March, so that to push the election all the way back into like probably early summer, so that they can keep doing what they're doing to our economy. I guess I don't think it's good good stuff. Is Ford running? Okay, so there's going to be a Candidacy rate or something. Candid. Wow, why can't I say that word today? Apparently, there's going to be candidates, conservative candidates. Oh, Ford's looking for a mandate. I don't know. Well, I guess the Conservatives are moving now because they'll get a bigger, they'll have a bigger victory if they do. So Ontario is pretty much Canada's powerhouse economically. So they want firm control. Right now, they kind of got loose control. Let's go check the channel. Okay, over here. What's going on? Where my chat? What else we got going on? Over half of Canadians are now financially paralyzed. So at least it's not just me. Financially paralyzed and behind on their bills. I got my bills cut up. And that's before the 25% tariff. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look like Russia in the 1990s. We're going to economically collapse. And honestly, if his ambitions are to make us the 51st state, if we economically collapse, then we will become the 51st state. So I guess we got to suffer a little bit before that can happen. And then when it happens, we'll probably suffer some more because they're going to flip everything on its head. It's going to be great. I don't know, they're still going on the whole J6 thing. It's so dead in the water, but they're going to beat that dead horse. All the evidence was destroyed because yeah, they just want to keep that narrative going. It's hilarious. Why did they delete everything if they were telling the truth? Doesn't make sense. They're going to put a residential school monument on Parliament Hill to honor the apparent corpses that were never found. They dug up the whole ground. There wasn't a single bone there. Those scanning things picked up some rocks that were skull sized, and it was all false narrative. But the left's going to put a monument, because again, they're going to beat that dead horse, even though it was a lie. I'm not saying there wasn't schools back in the day where they sent problem children of all races, not just natives. There was all kinds of kids in those schools. There was Irish kids. There was every kind of kid. You know, we still do that, but we don't stick them in schools now. Now, the Children's Aid Society takes the kids away and puts them in what they call foster homes. And in those foster homes, a lot of bad things happen to those kids. just like bad things happen to kids in these schools. Now, not all the schools had bad things happen in them, and I've watched testimonies of many people that said they had really good experiences in those schools back then. So it wasn't all horror and it wasn't all hell, and it's right now it's all narrative, unfortunately. It really is. Just more spin. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Hello, Jim. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, there you go. Everyone's doing maintenance today. I did my discus today as well. I still got to fill their barrels, but I'm going to do that in the morning because my tank's lasting longer. So my barrels don't need to sit for 4 days. They only need to sit for a couple. I'd like the water to be as fresh as possible. So I'll fill my barrels tomorrow, and that'll be that. That will be that. But thank you for watching. Taking up some more watch hours there. I attempted to monetize at the end. I don't know. They got me flagged in some way. So I appealed, and the individual who was talking to me when I contacted them basically doesn't understand what's happening. Some kind of glitchy looking thing. Couldn't tell me exactly because they're not allowed. But he's putting in an appeal on my behalf, and it should get resolved in the next few days. Apparently it's some kind of glitch, uh, but we'll see. There's nothing there for them to complain about. Not a single one of my videos has been flagged. I don't have any restrictions, no copyrights, no nothing. I think they just didn't want to pay people over the Christmas season because they knew there'd be a boost. So if they just deny everyone, then they've got less people on the program, and they're going to try and wait it out to see if I fall below the 3,000 real quick, right? So because everyone would have probably crossed the 3,000. I think they're just doing what they want to do. They've been losing market share, so like I'm really going to start moving my stuff over to Rumble, and then when I get to Rumble, okay, I'm going to look at everything on YouTube's "You're Not Allowed to Talk About" list, and on Rumble, I'm going to talk about every single one of those things all the time. And I wouldn't have talked about all of those things constantly if they didn't make a big deal about it. But seeing how they want to suppress people's speech, I will make a point of going over there and talking about everything they don't want people to talk about. And I will research it in depth and yeah, talk about it all thoroughly because you want to keep people quiet, fine. I won't talk about it on YouTube, but I will tell people I'm talking about it on Rumble. And Rumble's already accumulating. I haven't even hardly put anything there, and I'm already monetized. Like, I don't need this shit. I don't need this shit at all. I want to play Tyrant. Let's play Tyrant. I'm good with that. Oscars later on when the water's warmer. Yeah, yeah. The water runs out fast. Last time I did my Oscars, I brought them down almost 4 degrees because my hot water tank ran out, and the groundwater's stupid cold right now. So I'm not quick to change the system, but I definitely will have to keep an eye on that water when I do. I might have to like stop the fill halfway through, let my give my tank 20 minutes to heat back up, and then continue. That's probably how I'm going to handle it next time through. Yeah, yeah, and I just fed them. I just fed them, so there's a little bit of food particles in there, but it's good. The water's really good. There's almost no bubbles, and this water's probably a good 5 days old. Hello, Sierra Whiskey Foxtrot Lima Aquatics. That like button. It's free. It is. It's free to hit that. Free to hit that. Oh God, filter do I use? It's complicated. Down here, Christian's Pets, I have 4 large tanks linked together, and then I've got two 60-gallon rain barrels filled with biomedia linked in as well. And then the water circulates through everything in the basement at about 450 gallons to 460 gallons an hour. So all the tanks and all the filters and all the tanks are sharing the same water, and it's just like electricity loop going through them all. And then all the heaters are helping each other because it's a little cold down here. And then the barrels, two big sumps, right? Also helping the whole thing. So that's kind of why I can put so many Oscars in this tank and not have a problem. And that's why they don't really fight because the water's really nice and they like it and they're comfortable. And it just works out really well. Oh yes, Southwest. And you told me that last time, but I had a memory like a sieve, and I apologize for that. Southwest Florida Aquatics. You know what? Just give you. I'm gonna pass out some mod stuff here for all the fish keepers. Make sure all the fish keepers are Finster Senator. He's a fish keeper too. I saw his channel. As moderator, there we go. We got everybody modded up so you can sub each other if you haven't already. Swiffle. Swiffle, okay. There you go. Swiffle. I'll try to remember that one, Swiffle. But yeah, I use UV as well. Christian's Pets. Of course, if you check the channel, you'll see that I have a few videos that talk about my how I've set things up, both upstairs and downstairs. Things are different downstairs because downstairs is cold water fish and upstairs is discus. Um, but most of my fish are South American fish. So I mean, I've got a few Africans here and there, and I got a couple eels. Those are from Asia, but other than that, it's all South American fish. Oh, South Americans. Even the parrotfish, those are technically South Americans. They're just hybrids. God, those silver dollars are something else. I can't wait till the little ones are big too. They're still all there though. They haven't eaten my little ones. That big girl could eat those little ones in one bite, but she doesn't. I feed them well though. Oh, you got outside fish, eh? Those like coins, koi, or you just keep them outside? Okay. Well, Florida's normally okay for that, but yeah, you got heaters. Just run a whack load of heaters. Cover the tank. I would surround it with with some foam too. Put some foam on the glass all around the outside, drop a foam lid on it, and throw 2 or 3 heaters in there, unless they're like 80 million gallons or something. That's what we do to beehives up here. If you keep bees, like if you don't foam up the outside and insulate them and help them out, they won't make it through the winter. Of course, I can't. They're changing the laws though. Soon you'll actually be able to keep a beehive in the city, and I might just do it. I might just go and stick one on top of my shed out back. Um, Probably piss my neighbors off though. I'd like to keep bees. I really would. Good money in honey. Oh, you gotta raise a kitten. Yeah, the 4 hour thing. I'll drain you. I'll drain you. Thankfully, they grow fast, and you're only gonna have to do it for a couple weeks. You know, not like a human child where you're stuck for a couple of years. Yeah, you guys got that Arctic blast. It headed way down south. It actually kept things pretty nice for me, but now the cold's coming and the snow's coming hard, so I'll be doing a lot of shoveling next couple days. Hello, Jose. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. I'll be sending off your fish food next week. I have your address and everything. 3 days. I ain't just getting started. Oh my God. Well, the fact that you're hand feeding her like that, though, the kitten's just gonna be absolutely in love with you all its life, unless you're gonna give it away. But oh yeah, you'll be mommy. You'll be mommy all day. I think Greg. I don't know. Greg knows I'm not a girl, but that cat is just something else. He won't leave me alone. He's sleeping right now, so I snuck away to make a video. He's gonna wake up, notice I'm not upstairs, and come down here screaming at us, and who knows, any old time now. 31 tanks outside. That's impressive. I really gotta go pay more attention to your channel. I thought I looked there. I didn't see that. I'm gonna go look again now. Mhm. I'll be out of chat for just a second because I've only got my phone charged today. I forgot to charge my tablet. Cycling the tank. Here we go. This one says high water temperature. Okay, yeah, I see it now. I see your setup. You're getting nailed in the summer too, like that, eh? What's your tank temperatures now? You're doing 90 7 months ago. Back to the chat. Electric blue rams. I bought a couple. I bought three. I put them in my discus tank, and for some reason it didn't make it. Maybe it was the heat, but I thought they liked that. Some water change. Oh, yeah, it's time. Everyone's doing water changes right now and on the channel. Thanks for tuning in, running some watch hours, keeping me going. I might even be at the 4,000 now. I can't even see my watch. Like I can't see the accumulated watch hours because I've applied. But in this last month, I've like really done well. So I think once they sort their crap out and actually approve me, I'll be off to the races right away. 65 with the heaters going. Well, cold, but I think they can do it. I think they can do it. Well, if you can help them out with tarps or insulate them somehow, that'll help it warm up faster. It's Fahrenheit, yeah. I'm assuming you're talking Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I keep my tanks in Fahrenheit too. I don't monitor my tanks in Celsius. Even though the heater controllers would be more precise in Celsius because you can set them to the decimal point. And when you set them to Fahrenheit, you get a 1 degree variation. But I don't give a shit about the 1 degree variation. Neither do my fish. And I'm just used to tank temperatures in Fahrenheit because when I was a kid, um, we were still Fahrenheit up here. And then probably most of the way through elementary school, and then they switched it on me. So, and then they brought in metric. So when I was learning tanks when I was young, I always did my temperatures in Fahrenheit, and so I just stayed that way. Yeah, it is too cold. It should be at least 7, 8, 10 degrees even higher. Yeah, I bought the electric blue Rams, and well, I had them in like 85-degree discus tank. I think they might have just been sick when I brought them home. I don't know. Or I might have had a bacteria problem in my tank at that time, and it just took them out. I should try them again. If I kept them down here, they'd have to live in 79 degrees, and they do 79 degrees okay. In the summer, I would make it colder. Summer, I would keep it 77, 78 down here. Yeah, Rams in 83, eh? Okay. I'm not sure if I want to keep my Oscars at because they'll start to try and breed if I keep them at 82, 83, and that could just screw up my whole situation. Again, grasses and I'll have to start separating, keep them cold, and they don't want to think about that apparently. That's June taught me that, and it worked. I keep them cold, and they're calm. Jose, what do you keep your discus at? What do you run your discus at? 82? Yeah, you see, that's why I want to get the Rams too, because uh, they're very sellable, and I need some more breeding varieties in my life, just so I can. The Rams, I could just trade them in for like store credit or something. I get at least that anywhere I go, and that would get me free frozen foods. So I like that. I don't like paying for food if I don't have to. So I'd rather breed something and get some babies out the door. The discus I'll be selling for money when I get there, because that's what I'm after with the discus. I mean, I like keeping them and all, but at the end of the day, a successful, large brood discus will bring in some good coin, real good coin. Yeah, I have a 75 I can drop a pair in, and it would for me it would be the big girl and this boy right here. I believe they're paired off, and I think he's a male. What do you think? Do you think this one's a male? Uh, Maybe it's another female, but I think it's a male. He's always beside her. This one right here, you see his thing? I don't know if you can see it well enough, but I think it's kind of straight looking. I could be wrong though, but he's her number two. The bumblebees, yeah, I don't have any bumblebees, unfortunately. Although I think this one might have been like mixed with this white, sort of white and not quite albino one. He's almost got the stripes in his orange, so he might be part bumblebee. This one, you can see the stripes in his pattern. Yeah, yeah, mine don't. But this white one might be part bumblebee or like an albino bumblebee. Getting big, whatever it is, though. I don't think it's got the right shape now for a bumblebee, but it's mixed. So. And I like the copper back there. I like flying. Hey, what's going on, flies? You get down. Hey, you get down. Hey, you smash into something. You lift your chin a little bit. That's necessary. They always hurt themselves, these guys. Always popping off the glass or something. Hello, Mr. JT. Good to see you. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. The tank's kicking ass down here. That water's nearly a week old, and it's still fine. I don't get algae anywhere in any of my systems anymore. Now that those pond lights are running, those pond UVCs, uh, just don't even have to clean my. The only reason I clean my glass is I get that white biofilm on it now. That's it. Really? Oscars don't hurt though. They don't have teeth. Mine sometimes come up and challenge me, and I just challenge them back. I'll just put my hand up in a fist so they can't grab my skin or anything, and then I start to shake my hand like the big girl does when she gets mad, and then they respect me. They'll leave me alone. Just don't be afraid of them. Take them on. I've even the lemon there is real bossy, and it came up to me a couple times, tried to challenge me, so I start poking it with my finger, and it ran away. It hurts. I don't know. They haven't got me yet. Yeah, you thump them on the nose. Say, yeah, this is what I do. I show them I'm not gonna. You start acting afraid, they have fun with it. It turns into a game. They're not stupid. They'll think that they got one up on you, and then they'll chase you out of the tank every time. Yeah, no, I didn't think they could bite that hard. And again, when I think they're gonna bite me, I make my skin tight so they can't grab nothing, and I close my hand in the fist so they just bounce off me. But yeah, I guess it would scare me if I was 5'2". I'd never put the finger in grandma's tanks, eh? Oh, no kidding. Well, I guess if they try to bite me, I got something to worry about. But I just wasn't worrying about it. And maybe they could smell too. Normally they'll lay down, respect me, let me do my work. They'll get low, and I actually think I might be able to pet a couple of them because they're. I've had my hands around them and they don't run away. They just stay there. I bet you I could go up and just rub them. I haven't tried it yet, but I think I could. Yeah, not a very friendly lesson, but then you never did it again. So she didn't want your hands in the tank. You learned. 10-year-old fish bit you. Oh, you were 10 years old when you got bit. Okay. Give her a couple more floaties. Give me some floaty stuff. I don't like feeding this too often because it gets down in my. I worry about it getting down in my pipe. The big girl's not hungry at all. She's eaten enough today. Maybe she wants one. She sort of looks like she might want one. You know, we'll let them go there. Yeah, they're not that interesting. These ones are actually koi sticks, but they like them. Kind of like a veggie food. If there were piranha in there, I wouldn't want to put my hand in. I wouldn't play that game with piranhas. Not a chance. The only thing the big girl's ever tried to do, if I'm holding a plant and I'm trying to plant it, she'll come up and try to take the plant out of my hand. And I'm wondering if that's because someone was hand feeding her and she thinks I'm holding food. But I don't want her eating out of my hand anyway. And he's asking for more. He's like, "Oh, you give me more food?" Yeah, I give mine krill like once a week. I buy the big sheet of frozen Hakari krill there, and I try to make it last. So I don't like use it all up in a couple weeks, but so I give them about a handful a week. I get a couple months out of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm holding the plant, and she comes up to come take it, and almost thinks she's trying to play. She will move the plants around by herself and reorganize them too. Like these plants up front, she moved those. She'll pick them up and move them around. And then she just likes to decorate. It's funny when she gets into that mood, she just starts picking them up, moving them around, and then you look, and it actually looks kind of good when she's done too. I took a bunch of plants out because I was starting to think maybe she was doing that because there was too many, and but she's still doing it. She's moved a few down there and a couple here. In a week, they'll be all completely moved. Bugs by the pound, eh? That'd be nice to get them by the pound. Do I have a ping pong ball? No, but maybe what, they'll play with it? The cats are eating the crow, eh? I ever tried to give it to Greg. I wonder if he'd like it. Greg's fussy though. He's really fussy. I give him something new and he knows he's up to it. Although he seems to start losing weight in the winter. I think it's because he gets cold. I always got nice blankets on him and stuff, but he stays under his blankets more often because he he just feels the draft, and then I think he loses weight because of it. So now I'm putting him on kitten food because the kitten food's high in fat and protein, and if he's burning more energy, then I'm just going to give him kitten food. And I think it's working because his back legs are starting to fatten back up. It's been about a week. So with the normal food, it's good in the summer, but it doesn't seem to keep him going in the winter. So I'm mixing kitten food in with his adult food to give him more protein and more fat because they do burn a lot of energy. That's You do see a fat sphinx, but they're typically fast metabolism cats, and the reason is because they don't have hair and they run hot because they don't have hair. It's great at nighttime though because he crawls in bed with me, he gets under the sheets, and then he just sleeps and we share heat, and he's warmer than me, so it'll keep you good and warm. Good and warm. I almost wish I could fit a cozy chair by the discus, but I can't. There's no room up there for that. So it's a traffic area. And they say never keep your discus in a traffic area, but it was definitely a problem when I first got them because they were scared of it, but they just got used to it and they don't care anymore. It doesn't bother them. They're used to people walking by them. They're used to me. When they see me, they're on the front of the glass all the time because they know I'm the food guy. I've seen them freak out on strangers though. If it's someone, yeah, the discus know who they know and they know who they don't know. Seems that way with the Oscars too. They know me. They She'll come up and do dances for me if I sit up close to the glass. She'll literally, you know, put her nose up, and start doing little dances for me. Yeah, yeah. So it's a good idea, the kitten food, because it definitely. I was reading the protein content. I'm like, this is way better food, and it's only $2 more. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mix this in and boost his protein and fat content, and it's working. I'm glad I did it, and I only did it because my girlfriend has two small cats, two small kittens, because her older ones, well, they aged out. We'll just say it that way, and she got two new ones now, and they got the long hair, and they look like I think we don't know what they are. Thinking of doing the gene test just figured out, but I think they're Norwegian forest cats because they're already like They're only a few months old and they're already like over 10 pounds. And they're huge. Like they're bigger than Greg. Greg's 7 years old. He's about 7 pounds. And yeah, these things are big for kittens. We'll see what happens, but I think they're going to be 25 pounders by the way they're going. Friendly cats too. Yeah, yeah, it's better food. We'll see if his muscles come back before spring. In the summer, Greg's always nice and muscular because he's always running around, and we go outside for walks on leashes. And he's not hibernating, but in the winter, I noticed every year he was getting thin. So this year, I decided to do something about that. Yeah, Greg's 7, but he's just a different beast. Even my cat before Greg was a Bengal. I should go get a picture of her. She was the best. She had her problems. When I got her, she was like I got her for free because someone didn't want her anymore because Bengals can be problem cats. The one I had was I think it was about 14% wild. I forget the F number, but she was closer to wild than most because she was one of the early ones, and all she wanted to do was go outside, and I wouldn't let her go outside for the first, probably 6 years of her life because she's a Bengal, and I figured she'd get stolen. But then she started getting out, and she came back, and she was good about running away from everyone. So she got away with going outside every summer for 8 years. And I'm downtown in the busy area, but she was good. She figured out what cars were, and then she was never happier. Like she was kind of always by the window crying, wanting to go out. Maybe her old owner should let her out. I don't know. And when she got out, she was quite adapted to it. So I think she had experience, and that was it. She was the happiest cat in the world after I did that. So I couldn't. She'd asked to go out. I just let her because she loved it and it made her happy. And then when she got to be up around 16 years old, and one day she just disappeared. So someone either stole her, which is highly possible because she started just that last year. She was got all of a sudden got friendly with everyone, and she had a attitude shift. She still looked healthy. Everything seemed to be fine, but she started letting everyone pet her, and then she disappeared. So, but I had someone tell me the reason that she was probably saying letting everyone pet her is because she was on her way and kind of saying bye to everyone. And then they wander off when they get old and they just kind of die. And she might have done that. So I really just don't know what happened to her. It kind of sucks. I hope no one stole her, but I didn't want her to die either. I just don't know what happened to her. It bothered me for a few months, several months. I kept looking around for her, couldn't find her. So that's the price for letting them outside, right? But it made her so happy. Angel piranha tanks. Oh, I gotta check that out. I put two little angels in my hibiscus tank. I think they're gonna have the pearly, those little pearly white things on them, the pearly scales. One of them's starting to show those now. When I bought them, they were the size of a dime, and they still charge me $15 each, so they gotta be fancies. Holy crap, you got babies. Look at them all. Woo wee. That's some good money right there. Are those Ultims? Wow, that's a brood, bud. That's a brood. You probably get $10 a fish. Well, I gotta buy angels. Look at that. That's a brood. I've got. I might turn one of my tanks into an angel tank. 'Cause- Is that just two parents that made those? Is that from all those babies from two parents and one brood? Yeah, pearl scale. Is that what they're called? Yeah, I think these are pearl scale. They're mostly white, but they got a little bit of it's very, very white, and then some black, a little bit of black on them, like a Holstein cow. And the black's very, very black. So I bought them because the contrast was just beautiful. Do you ship? Oh God, yeah. Are those Ultims? Those angels that you got? Those babies? That's incredible. And I really like to know if that was all one pair. One pair. Oh my God. Oh my God. Makes me want to breed angels now. Be a lot easier than trying to breed discus, let me tell you. Discus is a pain in the ass. They really need a lot. But what they need is time. I've been raising mine up from babies. If I was able to afford adults, I'd be there already. My fish just aren't old enough. My females are old enough. My males are still immature. So what happens is, once the females are ready to lay eggs again, the male wants to eat the babies so that the female will breed again because he's just interested in a good time. So next time they do it, I'm going to put them in the breeding tank. I'm going to let them lay. I'm going to let them fertilize. And the male won't eat until the babies are about free swimming about 6 days. And then that's when she's ready to lay eggs again. So I'm going to let them get the babies to wigglers. And then I'm going to go in and take the male out and just leave them with mom. That might work. That might work. Because it's him that's eating them. I put a camera on them and it's him. He's a prick. 9, eh? I'd like to get some Ultims. I think breeding Ultims would be the way to go. Oh my God. Solves your angel overpopulation problem. Yeah, no doubt. Parent raised too, eh? It's kind of sad you lost your breeder though. But I guess if you got too many, who cares? But you still have to. Well, angels grow pretty quick, so it's not too bad. Discus, discus don't mature very quick, and then they have to learn. They have to learn to raise their babies, unlike angels who just instinctively do it. Yeah, yeah. Even now with the two little babies in my discus tank, they're almost starting to act like bullies. Like I might have to pull one, put it somewhere else, so that calms down. They pair up and they act like jerks. I'm kind of hoping the two I have end up being a boy and a girl though, because they're just gorgeous and they'll make real nice babies. And they've got the pearl. They got the pearl scales. At least the pearl scales are showing up on one of the two right now. The one that's growing faster. You don't see them when they're babies. I didn't even know they'd be pearl scale. 250 gallons. They still fight. Yeah, yeah. I'll probably just leave one in my discus tank because I don't want the stress. Sexing angels, I don't know. I really don't know. Until they're ready to lay eggs and you start seeing the vent and stuff, I don't, I don't know how to do it. Oh, here's his parents. Let's have a look. See, let's see. Yeah. Well, they look like Ultims, but then their fins are a bit short. Normally, the Ultims have much longer fins, unless that's just where they're caught. I like the ones with the long fins. The Ultims, the really long, long, tall fins. Look at that, eh? Look at that brood. Jesus Christ. Holy crap. Oh, they're eating. I thought those were babies. They were just eating food. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just pick out the best ones. And you should sell those other ones. You got a spot to sell them? Atkins Nature Aquariums. Here, let me give you the old blue too, so you can sub whoever you need to. There you go. Atkins Nature Aquariums. Let's go look at your channel, make sure I got you subbed. Yeah, I pretty much have everyone. Yeah, you're subbed. I pretty much have everyone on YouTube subbed nowadays. Fish, fish people. It's rare I see someone I'm not subbed to. The store's overstocked too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You need a website. You need to learn to ship fish. There's um wholesalers online that'll buy bulk off you if you contact them, show them pictures of your tank and close-ups of the fish and all that. They'll work a deal out with you. And yeah, Google that stuff. I was looking around at that stuff before. Um, it, Problem is, I don't know how to pack fish for like long-term travel, but I could just bring them in buckets over to my fish shop and pay them to do it for me. They probably, $20 here, put a whole bunch of fish in some bags for me, and they probably do it because they got the machines to make sure everything's sealed up. There you go. You got a sale for 20 of them. You just work it out with June. I'd love to have some, but it's winter and they would die coming here. I don't, and then there's probably a problem getting livestock over the border. There's probably paperwork and bullshit. Be safer for me to just drive them across myself, but I don't have a car. Well, I've got two empty tanks rolling that could easily take fish. Two empty big tanks. Oh wow, eh? Angels beating on the discus. Yeah, yeah. I don't like that. I had some before, and I had a really nice uh, blushing blue angelfish, but that thing was brutal. It got me. It was big. It got big real fast. It was eating snails, like whole snails, and the thing was eating everything that wasn't nailed down. And because he was stressing out my discus, I sent him on his way because at that point I only had the one tank, so I sold them. But there you go, Swiffle. You got some stuff. Are those Ultim Swiffle, or are they just striped angels? Yeah, find somewhere online to sell those puppies. That's a good chunk of money there. Save 20 for June, but then send the other like 300 of them somewhere. Even if you got $5 a piece, you're gonna pull in like a good chunk of change. After seeing that, I'm like I almost want to just breed some angels. Oh, they ate into the female, eh? That's not good. Get Gills is a good site, eh? They buy at Get Gills, or they just sell? Probably both. Well, you're doing well breeding angels 3 tanks full. Yeah, you got to do something. You got a lot of money sitting there. You can go buy yourself a new car. You got 3 tanks like that, and hundreds of Corys. Jesus, oh no, June's got hundreds of Corys. They're good money too, especially if you got like fancy ones. They got these copper looking ones in town here. They want like friggin' 25, $35 a piece for them for a Cory. Yeah, okay. And they probably are. It just depends which tributary they pull them out of, and some of them have those really long fins there. I like those ones. And then there's the ones that look like yours. So they're if they're wild caught, they're Ultims. Oh yeah, the African cichlids will breed like mad. They all breed really easily. It's I did that when I was young, and I liked it. It was fun to watch them. The mouth brooding and all that stuff is very interesting. The polar parrots I have, they're gonna breed like mad too. I'll get a whole bunch of those. So they're gonna be you know, and my fish shop seems to like parrotfish, so I should be able to offload them no problem. And if not, I'll just sell them local, $5 or $10 each. But they're gonna give me lots of babies. And then I'm gonna mix the polar blues with blood parrots. And we should get something interesting out of that too. Hopefully I get a blood parrot female because the males are useless. They're infertile. The blood parrots turn out to be males. I might just throw them in the Oscar tank when they're bigger. A little more color in there. They should do fine with Oscars. They're good at being bossy if they need to be. And they can't really hurt anyone either. Blood parrots have a weird mouth and they can't really bite anything. Panda Corys, eh? Those are pretty. I had a flock of Corys in my discus tank, but I think they didn't like the heat and they didn't last. They last about a year and a half, and then they started to just all die. Either that or maybe they're a short-lived fish. I'm not sure, but I think they're a 5-year fish, so the heat took them out. Just every now and then I'd find one that was dead. Is that or maybe my eel was killing them because their eyeballs and their guts would be gone when I found them. Yeah, now if my discus lay eggs in the main tank, the eel just eats them right away. The eel will sit there watching them lay their eggs and eat them, and they try to pick them away, but he's eel's tough. He doesn't care. He just sits there and eats their eggs. So when I see them start dancing, I pull the adults. The next 2 days, they'll probably lay eggs again. To be honest, the one pair I have here, and then the other advanced pair I've sent to a friend of mine's house. He set up a 250 gallon tank just for them to breed in. He's got all the walls done up blue. It's beautiful, and he's running UV everything, and they're happy there. They're doing good. The idea is he wants to fill up his 250. So I gave him like the biggest female that lays a lot of eggs. But the same problem. The female is old enough, but the male is about 6 months younger, and the same thing happens once they start free swimming. The male's eating up the baby, so he's putting a grade in next time they lay, and I think they've already laid. They were laying the other day, so he would have put the grade in, separated out the male, and we're going to see if that works over there. He's going to try it first. For my lay next, I'm just gonna pull the male and throw him back in the main tank and leave the female with him because she's older, and I don't think she wants to kill her babies. That's always the way you want. The ones you want to breed don't want to breed. I gotta go bump the heat up. I turned it down because I didn't want the heater to be noisy, but it's starting to get cold. Be right back. Hopefully you guys don't have to hear it. This mic should have noise cancellation. It is a bit loud. No, Swiffle, you've got quite the collection. You got a lot of tanks too, though. So, how long you been doing your fish now? Your fish room must have been a while. Like three of the coolest fish I have are the pygmy cuckoo catfish. Those things are awesome. They actually go up and clean my discus, or they're feeding off their slime coats. I don't know, but the discus don't mind it. And when I read up on it, it says they look after the cichlids because they use them to breed to. They want to keep the cichlids healthy because they need the cichlids to raise their babies. Cories are cool fish. Me, I don't like. A lot of people are pleco freaks too. I'm not into the plecos. I don't know. I just don't like the way they look. They creep me out. But cories, I could get into cories. They're a useful fish too. Is the furnace overpowering me? Hopefully you don't hear it. It's right in front of me, right there. So yeah, they do have a lot of variety. And the panda ones are really cool. Someone's gonna go buy some cories. Yeah, that's what I do. I try and find them. I try and find them free, and the 65 gallon tall that I've used as a community tank on the other side. That was a side of the road tank, but they posted it Facebook Marketplace with a picture uh, of it out on their grass and the address, first come, first serve. So I called my friend who had a truck, and I'm like, "Are you near this part of town?" And they're like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Okay, this address," and sent the picture. Grab it. And he got there first. And I basically got every tank I have free, literally, and I got lots of them. I've got tanks stacked in a room that I haven't even. I just don't have the money to set them up yet. We got a couple 30 gallons. I haven't even done anything with them yet. Three or too small, yeah, because Holy Oscars wants like 400-gallon tanks, or she doesn't want them at all. Scrap metal, yeah, that's what my buddy does. You find scrap metal. It was my buddy, but then he decided to be a jerk off, so he ain't my buddy anymore. That's his loss. I don't take shit. As soon as people cross me, that's it. You're off the fucking list. That's it. I'm too old. He's a young lad, so different generation, different mindset. They all think they're entitled. You can get good money off the scrap when the price is up. You fill up a nice size truck bed, just heaped full of scrap. You're walking away with hundreds of dollars, and you can fill up a truck in no time, like an hour. Yeah, yeah, you can. $5 each. Oh, that's pretty good. One of my kids, the manager for PetSmart, they've been switching out their tanks, and I'm like, get me, those tanks that are all, it's like a big long row. Well, they're switching their tanks out, putting new ones in. I just want a few of those rows with the divider tanks. I'd love those, but the opportunity hasn't come along. I wouldn't mind getting some of those old PetSmart setups. Pretty nice. Oh, yeah, yeah. The price fluctuates. Interestingly enough, scrap price seems to be higher when the left is in power, and then when the right comes in power, the scrap price drops. Oh man, my foot muscle is cramping up, and I can't stop it. Oh, that one hurts when that happens. Oh, they're walking off. Just random shit. Here we go. I got to stop. Oh, that hurts when that happens. Yeah, hey. do toss good stuff. They really do. Even the hose I used for filling my water, someone just threw that out. Perfectly good. It was in the reel. They were moving. They couldn't take all their shit with them. And yeah, I would have paid hundreds of dollars for that little rig. And it's like probably like 100+ foot hose, all wrapped up in with a winder, a real good quality. I use that to fill my tanks all over the house. Too heavy to load the wall. That must have been painful, eh? Yeah, I can hear you though. Even bringing this one home, the lights are going out. That sucks. How's that even look? It's not looking that great over there. So yeah, this one just carrying it down the stairs. I had to do it with me and just one other guy because the stairs are so narrow, and it took everything I had just to hang on to it. Everything I had. Thank God, Buddy was strong too. We were both like 6 footers, but let me tell you, it hurt to get it down here. If I ever have to move, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even want to think if I had to move. That would be a nightmare. Probably couldn't afford a new place, to be honest. I've been here for a long time, so my rent's kind of locked in at a lower price. And then since I've been here, the rents have basically quadrupled. If I had to move, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to find a place. That's because they let too many quote unquote international students into the country in the last 2 3 years. We're supposed to take in just a couple 100,000, and we took in like over 3 million. And most of them didn't even go to school. It was like a scam just to get into the country, and now they're running around trying to evade deportation. And they're just basically eating up all the available housing too. We only had 1.5 million available houses under our normal immigration mantra. So there were empty houses available, which kept the prices reasonable. Now there's no empty houses. The only ones are brand new ones that were just built, and everyone wants 4 grand to rent them. So we're in a pickle up here. Yeah, 180 gallons, even that would be a beast. Because the glass just gets thicker and thicker as they go up, and then it's heavier and heavier. And this one's rimless, so it's really thick glass. And yeah, I couldn't believe how heavy it was. And it's not even that big. It's only like, well, it measures 112. Some people call that a 120. But if it measures 112, I think you should call it 112 or even 110. It's a custom tank, so it's a weird size. Yeah, I might set up a wall of smaller ones, but they're also more work. So there's that. But I've got two 20s set up like hospital tank, breeder tanks scenario upstairs. And I got two more 30s to set up. Actually, I got three 30s to set up and a 15 that I don't use, and a 65 that I don't use. And that one's rolling as like an emergency discus tank in case I have some kind of failure upstairs. And then I got a 75 linked into this system that's not being used. Just sitting there waiting for me to do something with it. Shrimp is something I like to do too. I would buy a bunch of small, real small tanks and just do shrimp up in them. That'll be in the future, just because shrimp could be good money, and I want to get my fish room going. Like a lot of people don't want to do it for money, and I do it because I like fish, but I also want the money because it's I just need it. I just need it. And then YouTube's picking on me. Put it all the time, and you say one wrong word, one wrong video, you delete it months ago, and it's still a problem for them apparently. It's just stupid. Got me hella flagged. But they're working on it. It should get fixed because it shouldn't be happening. Dude I talked to sort of vaguely implied this shouldn't be happening to me, and he's putting the appeal through, so it should get fixed. He's taking it on himself. He's going to get back to me himself. We just got to jump through some hoops. Yeah, exactly. I want it to, well, help pay for the fish and then help put some meat in my freezer. That's all I'm after. I don't need to get rich. I just need a little more than I got right now, and then everything will be fine again. I'm down. I'm literally down over 100 pounds, and I don't want to lose any more weight. So, yeah, fish keeping in my town's kind of dying. I think it's just because we got a difficult water situation, and then people give up, and then they give away their tanks because they're so mad. But the good news is, once I get the discus breeding going, there's one pet shop in town that sells discus, and nobody else sells discus. There's no other breeders in my town now. There were a couple of years ago, but they all gave up, probably because their fish were just randomly dying in the spring and the fall. Like I said, I've made videos about my water problems, um, and that's driving people out of the hobby here. Probably also the lack of being able to get meds. We can't even get good meds anymore. We got to buy like it's just the brand, the super high brand names, and then they're just too weak. It's not the good, we can't get the good stuff. We're not allowed to import it. Close to what? Is that for me? That question? I'm close to which two? The only guy I know is my friend that I sent the discus pair out to, um, like serious sort of fish keepers. And he's bred discus before. I actually bought my German Stenker babies from him. He imported 8 uh, German Stenkers from Germany, and I think he said it cost him $1,100 just to get 8 babies from Germany to Canada. And of course, they're a sensitive strain, so he had the he. I had problems with them, and he had problems with them. I bought 14 babies, and I got 3 left. But I figured out what was going on with them, and basically it was they just need really good UV. They're not good with free floating bacteria. That particular strain is vulnerable to them. All the rest of my fish didn't care, but that it was wiping them out. But I solved it. The ones I have now will be fine. And if I run into them again, I could keep them alive for sure. I had a guy who's got 35 years experience tell me he couldn't keep that strain alive for more than a year. So I'm doing pretty good, even though I only got three of them. No. If I'd figured out that light thing maybe 2 weeks beforehand, I would have saved four more. Yeah, it must be nice to have access to fish like that. Yeah, there's not much going on in my city for fish keepers. Toronto's got a load of them. Montreal's got lots of them. Actually, like if I end up with serious money, I will actually drive to one because it's only about 2 hours away. I will drive to Montreal to buy discus because they've got so many discus breeders there. Um, Beautiful fish too. Just too far away from me. I'd have to pay someone to drive me because I'm not allowed to drive anymore. Not because I'm actually I haven't drank since I was 20, so it's not like I got a DUI or anything like that. It's medical. Basically said, nope, you can't drive. You're not reliable anymore. You can't drive anymore. Your vision's gone. Did it come back? Okay, go. Okay, good. There we go. It came back. It fixed itself. Thank God. Yeah, it looks good on the screen. So it was just, I guess, YouTube server thing. Good, good. Sometimes it cuts me off and then it doesn't come back. I suppose I could reconnect to it, but I haven't really figured that out yet. But it fixed itself, so we're good. Our tank's getting dark. That's good, that's good. It burps every now and then. It's actually the sun. The sun seems to throw some air every now and then, make a burpy noise. I use a sun canister filter to send the water in here from the barrel. I use it like a bridge. I don't even pack that with sponges. I just pack it with biomedia so the water flows through easy. Yeah, it was nice chatting. I probably am going to call it anyway because my tank's getting dark and, you know, been here a while too. I thank you all for hanging out with me. It was always fun to do. And yeah, I think we'll call it for now. It's been long enough. I'm sure there's other live streams that are about to pop up anyway. It's about that time of night. Your lights turned on. Yeah, all my tanks turn off around now. The ones on the other side turn off earlier because I got them on 12-hour timers. So I run them from 6 till 6. And that seems to, because if I run the 24-hour timers on the other brand of lights, it's too bright. So I've switched so I can dim them. Oh, there's a link. Let's have a look. Jesus. Are those all blue reds? They are too. Look at you go. You're just killing it. God, I hope they don't all freeze on you. You're just sitting on some bank there. You really got to figure out how to ship some fish and start selling, bud. Your wife will have a smile on her face from ear to ear when she sees that money roll in. That's impressive. Well done. Well done. There's some good money sitting there. Oh, you got them inside? Good. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, I used to be a night owl too, up until just a few years ago. My eldest daughter had a baby, and for some reason, I just started waking up at 5 a.m. from that day forward. And then I got into fish, and I don't know why I wake up 5 a.m. every day like clockwork. Some kind of instinct snapped in my head, and that was it. But anyhow, I think I'm gonna go have a little snack and probably get ready for bed. To be honest, 'cause I go to bed early. Thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao for now. I was like that all my life. Was a night owl guy. But I don't know. I got old and I started going to bed early and waking up early. It's weird. Thank you guys too. Thank you. Have a great night, eh? Have a great night, folks.